How's it going, everyone? It's your boy Jose, aka TheNYCGeek, aka TNG, aka your Elden Lord, aka the guy who wants to let you know, unfortunately, I do have some bad news. You're gonna have to bunker down. You're gonna have to bunker down because this storm of garbage that the MCU, that the Rings of Power, that Halo, that Picard, that all of these trash adaptations and works are, they're here. They're here. 2021 was like when you see a storm coming and you see a storm and the dark clouds are rolling in and you can smell the ozone. And that was 2021. Okay. That wasn't even the worst of it. 2022, now we're in the actual shitstorm. Okay. Because now not only are they taking these properties and ruining them, but they're just openly insulting you, the fans. Okay, the fans who made these properties so beloved, so big that these parasites these companies would even turn their disgusting gazes, that would turn their heads in their direction. Okay, comic books, video games, fantasy novels, those used to be for the shunned. Remember those times? Remember that? And let me make it very clear. I am not saying that I want for the dark times to come back when you would be ostracized for having a comic book in your hand. Well, maybe if it's an American comic book. No, I'm kidding. But because those are fucking garbage now. So read a manga instead. But these were pillars of geekdom. These were of pop culture. There was a time when the mainstream, when the normies hated these things, or at best, they thought they weren't worth your time, their money. And when they realized, and that's when they realized, wait a minute, we can wring from the fans, we can wring from them some money. We can wring some money from the fans of those properties. We can use those properties as a platform.
I think to apply modern political thinking on a story that is essentially 50 years old is a little bit inappropriate.
And that was what's the most egregious part for me. For me, that was the most egregious part of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Because outside of the incoherent writing, that was full of plot holes, and don't kid yourself, it was, okay? You can say you enjoyed the film, you can say you had a good time and you were entertained with it. That's fine. But don't tell me that that it's the best movie out there, that it was fantastic writing. You're wrong. Outside of the incoherent writing, Doctor Strange being cucked and shat on in his entire film, and the continued directionless heading of the MCU's Phase 4, because they don't know where the fuck they're going. They have no idea. The worst part of Doctor Strange 2 was the fucking slap in the face to the fans. Oh, wow. The way they treated Reed Richards, Professor Xavier, and Black Bolt was Marvel Studios telling you that we don't give a fuck if you loved those properties. They're ours now. They're ours. And we're gonna squeeze and massacre what you love to get a few dollars out of it. That's what that movie was. That was the most egregious part of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. And that's what's happening to everything we love and loved. To the MCU, the Star Wars, the Halo, a fucking video game series that has a television show where the fucking morons at the helm writing that show have said they didn't even look at the games. They didn't play them. They didn't give a shit about the source material. How the fuck do you make a show about Halo without fucking playing Halo? I'm not saying you gotta put in 200 hours into the multiplayer to get your ass beat and get teabagged. That's what happens when I fucking play Halo multiplayer. I know that's for me. But god damn it, you gotta at least know what's happening in those worlds. You gotta get a sense of the vibe of the gameplay. You can't just base it off of side stuff like the novels and then completely toss aside those two to make your own shit. which is what that show is. Pure shit. It's the Quan show. It's the Quan show guest starring the Spartan formerly known as Master Chief. Okay? That's what the Halo, and I cannot fucking air quote that enough. That's what the Halo show is. You have it with the sheer fucking hubris.
Sheer fucking hubris
Of Picard to take the beloved property of Star Trek and stomp all over its lore that has been established for decades. Now the Borg, one of the most terrifying villains in geekdom, are now going to ask your permission to assimilate you? What? They're fucking space zombies. That's what the Borg are. When they hail your ship and they tell you, we're the Borg, we are the Borg, lower your shields, surrender your ships, we're gonna fucking adapt and add your biological distinctiveness and your technological whatever to our own. I don't remember the full speech, I'm sorry. But and it ends with, resistance is futile. I'll put it up here so you guys can actually hear it without me fucking butchering it.
We are the Borg. Lower your shields and surrender your ships. We will add your biological and technological distinctiveness to our own. Your culture will adapt to service us. Resistance is futile.
And Picard has done away with that. They've gotten rid of it. They've destroyed decades of established canon. Why? Because fuck you. That's why. Because they don't give a fuck about the source material and they don't give a fuck about the fans. They just want to use the name power of these properties and they want to trick you. That's what they want to do. They want to use the name power of these properties to trick you. They're wearing the skins of the things we love. They're fucking right inside and they're in it. But it's all superficial. It's all superficial. Behind it, they're not even hiding. It's not even disguised. The hatred that they have for you, the fans, for me, the fan. It's happening to Lord of the Rings, which to me is the most important property I had growing up, because The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings helped shape me so much. They helped open the doors into the fantasy genre and helped my imagination and all this kind of stuff. And Amazon is trying to make Rings of Power into something vastly different from fucking Tolkien's vision and his original works. And then they have these awful entertainment sites like Variety and Looper talking about how it's a good thing that these companies are taking these properties and turning them away from the fans that made these properties as popular as they are. No, you fucking maidenless morons.
Unfortunately for you, however, you are maidenless.
Look. These companies, these entertainment sites, they want to hammer you. They want to hammer you. They want to make you feel bad for being a real fan. And they'll call you an unyielding purist, which is a useless straw man argument, okay? Just because you actually care and know more about the property in question than they'll ever bother to know or care about, okay? Because they don't care about these properties, okay? Just the only thing they care about is just how much money they can drain from it, like the fucking vampires that they are, okay? Do not let them assuage you. Do not let them browbeat you. They want to take what you love, beat it, and present you a mangled fucking corpse and say, this is what you're gonna like. This is what you're gonna like. You wanted that? No, too bad. Fuck that. You're gonna like this instead. They're gonna fucking serve you the shit sandwich. And do not fucking buy it. Do not subscribe to it. Do what you can to avoid giving them money. I know it's difficult at times. In fact, the best thing you can do is spread the word of mouth. Do not be silent. That's what they want. They want the real fans to be quiet, to keep their mouths shut, and let them continue parading about the garbage. That's what they want more than anything. Okay? These adaptations are not worth your time. They're not. And there are adaptations out there that are worth your time, that are amazing, that are incredible. The Boys, I still say, anyone ask me, I say the best thing in superhero stuff right now is The Boys series. Yes, it has its its flaws and whatnot, but that's a perfect example of an adaptation that's better than the source material. And somehow they took the comics, which sucked, and made it better. That's an adaptation. The first 4 seasons of Game of Thrones is an adaptation of the novels. Those first 4 seasons were fantastic. They were fucking incredible. The dial and there are things that even in the later seasons they didn't change, the incredible costumes, the set pieces, the music, the acting. Those are things that really didn't change, but the writing did, and that's what was being adapted in the story. But in the first 4 seasons, holy shit, those first 4 seasons were incredible. They were fucking amazing. And there is, to me, none more so, in my opinion, of a better adaptation than the Lord of the Rings movie trilogy. Those movies they're not page for page adaptations. They're not. They cut out a lot of things. They, on Bombadil, and they changed others, but the spirit of Tolkien's work, of the books, were in those films. That is why, to me, again, they are the greatest trilogy ever told on screen. And there's a simple reason for that. There really is a simple reason for that. A simple thought process that should always be employed when an adaptation is in the works.
As filmmakers, as writers, we had no interest whatsoever in putting our junk, our baggage into these movies. We just thought we should take what Tolkien cared about clearly, we should take those and we should put them into the film. This should ultimately be Tolkien's film, it shouldn't be ours.
They didn't want to put their own baggage into these movies. This should ultimately be Tolkien's film, not ours. I couldn't have said it any better myself. That is what happens when a real fan creates something with the love of a fan for other fans to enjoy. That is why, to this day, I will sit and watch the extended editions of those movies. Fuck's sake, when those things came out, I remember waiting in line at Blockbuster. At the time, Blockbuster was still around, to get the extended editions of those movies. And I would sit there hours. You're talking about 3+ hours watching these films. And I had no problem with that. I was happy to do so. I was ecstatic because they knew what the fucking movies should be. They were taking the novels and putting the spirit of those novels into the property. They weren't trying to turn it into their own, because why bother? And I ask this all the time. Why bother taking a beloved property to adapt it if you're going to gut out everything in the property that makes it beloved to spin your own story? Make your own original thing at that point. Or are you so talentless? Are you such a hack that you can't? And that's what's happening. And that's a question that we're going to have to face nowadays with companies like Disney, Amazon, and more. It is why I tell you, the fans, do not be silent. Perfect example of this is the Sonic movie. When they were making that terrible, the first Sonic movie, when they were making that terrible art change for Sonic with the fucking teeth and the nightmare fuel that he was.
Meow?
The fans came out and said, fuck no, we don't want that. And to that studio's credit, they sat there and said, you know what? You guys are right. We're going to change it. And look at how well that turned out for them. Look at how much of a success those films are. And that's what happens when the fans don't stay silent. And that's what I implore you to not do. Do not be quiet. Let your voice be heard, because these companies, all they want to do is to keep you quiet so they can keep putting their shit out. And you're the only ones who can stop that.
Come, my friends. The Ents are going to war.
Right? So this has been the NYC Geek. Whew, my God, I had that rant going. I'm sorry. If you enjoyed this content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Hit that button right now. Right now. And also while you're at it, you know, please consider hitting the like and the share button. Hit the freaking bell so you can know when a video goes live. Leave a comment down below. I love to engage and chat with all of you, every single one of you. Even if you disagree, leave a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts as to why. And, you know, if you haven't already, please make sure to follow me over on twitch.tv/TheNYCGeek, as well as to follow me on that filthy cesspool that is Twitter. Remember, always, your time is precious, and I thank you for sharing it with me. Thank you. I really do. I appreciate it when you guys share it with me. Please take care of each other and stay safe.